Good morning, good morning, good morning, Internet. It is Eric Arnold, sometimes known as the Big E, here in his sports barn on a Thursday morning, about 1:45. I'm here to recap our latest disaster from Tuesday night and give you a slate of games for Thursday. Which will hopefully be a damn sight better than we've been doing. What can I tell you? I failed every way possible Tuesday. We lost. We had 7 games. We won 2 of them, lost 5 of them. I totally lost my shit. Could not come out here to do a video. It just, my mind was not right. I could not bear to face you people. I was embarrassed, mostly just red hot angry, and I just could not bring myself to do it. So, failed handicapping wise, I failed emotionally. That's what I'm trying to work on. Again, part of making these videos is somewhat a therapy for me, just so I can kind of work on my, I've always had trouble with that sort of thing. I cannot bear to think that I'm not perfect, I guess, and, in handicapping, you're not going to hit them 80% of the time, and anybody that tells you they hit them that often is lying to you. So, you're hitting 55%, you're going to lose 45% of the time, and just through random happenstance sometimes those get strung together. And we all call that a losing streak. And, lately I've just been struggling with this because the losses are wearing me down. Well, last night it wore me out. I learned something, that if you run as fast as you can, all while screaming as loudly as you can, you don't get very far. What happens is everything just kind of goes like that, and then eventually you just pass out, fall over. And then does that make you less angry? Actually, no, it makes you more angry, because once you kind of wake up and get off the ground, now you're just muddy, and you're still pissed. Now you're more angry. So, it was just an exasperating night. The good news is I think I may have figured something out as to why some of these picks are losing. We'll hold that for a moment. I think one of the things that's going to help me is just to kind of reset my expectations for myself. We were up around 57, almost 58%, and this has happened before, and I get up like that, and then you start going, man, maybe I really am this good. Man, maybe I've really found something. I'm really this good. Well, and maybe it's just all luck. Unfortunately, I think that's what it is. And then as it, fritters away, you just get more and more angry, more and more frustrated, and that's the way that goes. But I think I said once before, I've never done this before. I've never handicapped a full college basketball season, night after night, week after week, no time off, coming up with 300-400 picks for the whole season. I've never done that before, and that's part of why I want to do this, to see what happens. Where are we going to end up when it's all over? And perhaps I just need to reset my expectations and just say, look, it's the first time you ever done this. If you end up with a winning record, let's call it a victory. Despite the fact we were way up here at one point, let's just call it a victory if we end up with anything north of profitability. So I'm going to try that. Just accept the fact that there are better people out there at this than I am right now. I mean, there are people who have been doing this for years. So I'm just not going to step into their realm, into their boxing ring. Even Mike Tyson, the first time he stepped in the ring, he wasn't the best in the world. I know he's the youngest heavyweight champion ever, but he didn't just first fight for the title against Larry Holmes. I mean, it took him a while to work his way up till he could get to fight the best, to be the best, at any rate. So we're going to work at it. We're not going to give up. It's kind of like building a house. I mean, it's the first time I ever built a house. So I'm sure some things are wrong. So, and I'm sure some people that knew what they're doing would look at it and go, oh, you fucked that up. Oh, you didn't measure that? Well, that's wrong. So maybe the second house we build will be better, but this house is, it's a first effort. My wife suggested something. I thought I'd share that with you. She puts up with my tantrums, my wild emotional swings. I don't know why. I don't know why. I hope she loves me. I hope that's the reason why. But I have this. I use this a lot. This is my bat. This helps me think, much like Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men. The bat helps me think. So if I've got a particular thorny game I'm trying to come up with the right answer on, we go to the bat and we think about it. Unfortunately, the bat's often in the room with the TV, so when things are going bad, the bat's right there. So, it has happened that the bat doesn't always just help me think. Occasionally it gets used to hit something like we got an old beat up easy chair, so sometimes it gets used on that. So my wife suggested not to have the bat laying around, maybe use something less aggressive. She suggested this. This is what they call a Collins axe, also known as a maul. We use this to split wood. It's about, it says it's 12 pounds, so most of it's up here in the wedge. So you just take this and you bring it down on, bam! And this will break just about anything in half. So I'm not 100% sure how she thinks this is less aggressive, or that I can't bust stuff up and damage shit with this. But she thinks that this use of this will be less destructive than the bat. Honestly, I don't really use either one of them when I want to bust shit up. I just use my hands. I'm pretty good about that. I haven't broken anything with my hands in a while. It just, my latest go-to move is screaming. That's about, just got to get it out. I just can't. Sometimes the frustration just builds up, and then you just got to get it out. So, anyway, my therapy session's running long, and you're probably wondering, well, give me some goddamn picks so I can bet against you. Let's go. All right, so let's do that. Now here's what I hit upon, where I think we might be on to something. The old business. Let's talk about the fucking disaster we had with Sal against Davidson. Never in it. I'm getting sick of that. These games. It's like, can I be in it for just a little bit so I can just dream that we're going to win? Hell, I'm never in some of these games. Some of these games seem to start off 15-0 and they get worse from there. So, 74-49, never in it, loss. We got lucky here. Iowa State had a very easy cover in hand, and then they just pissed it away. And it looked like they were going to lose. That's when I lost my shit. As I guess it worked, because they somehow in the last minute and a half pulled their shit together and won 65-59, covering the 2.5. So that made a bad night, just a bad night, not a kill yourself night. Here we had DePaul losing 78-67, not covering the 8. Here we had Texas A&M, another terrible pick. They lost 69-60 to Kentucky. Kentucky's a good team, and I knew that was. This whole slate of games felt bad from the outset. I even told my wife that when we were going out to get something to eat before the game started. I said, I'm nervous. I have 7 games tonight, and I don't like any of them. I'm just not feeling it. I don't think these are good games. Well, sure enough. Texas Tech They played one of the best games of the season this weekend, followed up with one of the worst. What the fuck is wrong with these guys? They lose 65-51 to Oklahoma. North Carolina State going into the awful North Carolina team, apparently not so awful. They were only getting 2.5 points, and that was not enough, as they lose 85-79. And then Colorado State, again, they helped save it, make it just a bad night instead of a kill yourself night. Colorado State managed to cover the 13.5. San Diego State, as we had hoped, took the game off, and they covered 60-66. So, 2 wins, 5 losses. Now here's what I think we're doing wrong. We are getting way too often here bad teams, and I'm talking historically bad teams, not just necessarily, oh, I'm getting a bunch of points bad teams. LaSalle historically has not been good in the A10 in, I don't know, years. I mean, how long's it been since they made that run in the Sweet 16 when they had the guy that looked like Uncle Drew? That must have been 10 years. They've been off the map since then. Davidson, always a team that's in contention for the A10 title. DePaul, historically awful in the Big East. Xavier makes a tournament almost every year. Why do I have these fucking teams? This is the mistake. NC State, let's compare. Carolina, NC State, let's compare banners. How many banners do these guys have? How many banners do these guys have? No comparison. I'm on the wrong side of these games. So I even knew this. I was arguing, debating a pick a few weeks ago with a subscriber. He wanted to take Rutgers at home against Michigan. He liked that game, and I just didn't like it because, you know, when the hell has Rutgers ever won anything? And you're going up against Michigan, you're laying points to Michigan, a historically very good Big Ten team, and of course then Michigan did cover and win the game, and I patted myself on the back and probably forgot the lesson. So I'm hoping now, since I had that pass out event coupled with this epiphany as to what I'm doing wrong, that I'm going to remember this now to double check that I'm not taking a complete shit team. And that's the thing, I did a little research on this. It doesn't matter how many points the shit team gets. The shit team cannot overcome their historical shittiness. They just cannot. They have to, they're just not going to cover as many as they're going to lose. So we just got to look out for that. I'm hoping that that's going to help us put the brakes on this goddamn losing streak. We'll see. The Texas Tech game, I was mystifying. I don't have an answer for that one. This is another shit team. No, it's a shit team. When's Texas A&M ever been good? And I'm only getting 6.5 points against a clearly superior Kentucky team. And I think Kentucky could have won that game even more easily had they wanted to. I watched some of that game. Texas A&M plays no defense. It's... Well. So we talked in a big circle. So what do we have for you here on Thursday? We're going to try to shoot ourselves out of this fucking slump. We got 15 games. So I'm hoping for a big, big night. I mean, let's go 10-5. I mean, we are so due to have a nice night. I need a good night like a dead man needs a burial. So let's see what we can do. We got a lot of minor league games, but that seems to be where my model likes to go. And I don't always, now I'm starting to really review what the model's coming up with. And so there's half model and then there's half just magic dust or whatever that came up with these games. So let's see what we got. Winthrop out of the Big South, they're 19-10. They're in the hunt for the title, I think. I think they just need a win or two and they got the title. They're 9-point favorites against USC Upstate. They're 11-18. Their Pomeroy ranking's so bad I didn't even write it down. Well, we're going to take Winthrop. I mean, the model, it fits in the model, and we like it. The one thing we don't like, which is why we put 1 star on this, Winthrop just haven't been playing that well. You know, they just haven't been beating the shit out of people like, you know, perhaps they should be. So, you know, they should easily defeat USC Upstate. They should start putting it in gear. Their tournament is next week. So, you know, if you got your A game and let me restate that. If you don't have your A game going, now would be a good time to find it, if considering your ticket to the big dance is next week. So that's what we're hoping. Winthrop's going to come out there with their hair on fire and blow up USC Upstate. This is the hope. Okay, more Big South. I'm going to sneeze here, it feels like. Asheville, UNC Asheville, 13-14, visiting High Point. We're back to those guys again. We've had some luck. We've had not some luck with High Point. Well, we're a 2-point favorite. Obviously, we're taking the road team. I'll spare you the mystery. We're taking all road teams, just so, you know, Range, if you're watching, you can just mark it down. You don't have to watch the whole goddamn video then. You can just, you know, take whatever and go do your thing. But Asheville, 2 stars. I checked Tubby Smith, somebody we'd like to bet against. I was kind of thinking, well, this might be a heroic win one for Tubby. He's only in the 2nd year of his contract. So, kind of tells me he's coming back. And, you know, I don't see that team, you know, it's not a team I see improving. I think Asheville has played pretty well lately. I haven't seen High Point playing that great. You know, this is just my review of the box scores. So we'll take Asheville. Longwood, of course. More Big South action. Longwood, what do we know about them? That's a team that I think has been Division I now for 10-15 years. According to their website, they are committed to competing and winning the Big South or some bullshit like that. They fired the coach a couple, 2 years ago? And this is the 2nd year of this new coach. And this is kind of looked like to me the best team they've had there. So, kind of feels like it's a program that's on the slow rise. Presbyterian, that's a team that's been nowhere for as long as they've been, you know, a team. So we kind of think Longwood's a team going somewhere. This is a PR game. How's that? Personal record, personal best, personal record game for Longwood. In other words, they win this game, then that's probably the best season that they've had, maybe in 5-10 years. So let's see if they can get it. We think that we have an advantage as far as historical record. I think we have a slight coaching advantage. We like it. We'll take it. Again, we think that these minor leagues, there's a historical bias towards the road teams. There's, you know, I'm not picking all these road teams because I'm a fucking idiot. There is a reason why the model spits out all these road teams. So, Oakland, out of the horizon, this is another historical horizon. Usually in the top half of the horizon is Oakland. They are again this year. I think they're right in the middle of the pack. But they've been playing well lately. It looks like they're coming on at the end of the season. So that strikes me as a team that's peaking right around the right time. The coach has been there forever. He knows everything there is to know about the Horizon and Horizon basketball. They are a 4-point favorite at IUPUI. Now those guys, they were coming on a little bit at the beginning of the season. They lost their coach, and I forget why. It was one of these, you know, HR, you know, human resources. The coach either got caught banging the secretary or a DUI. I don't know. I forget what happened or why the guy got canned. So that happened right before the season started. So turned into a must year for these guys, and I'm kind of hoping that they just kind of, somebody, Oakland, when you guys are done, turn out the lights, would you please? So that's what we're hoping, that Oakland just keeps on moving towards the Horizon tournament, which is in, I think it's next week. And that's what we're looking for there. St. Peter's is on a roll. This is a red hot team. We won with them recently. It stands out, one of our only few wins here lately. They have been in the New York City area now for about 3 weeks. In other words, most home games, if they have an away game, it's like Manhattan, right across the river. So I think that's a team that's in a complete rhythm, playing very sharp basketball right now. They're in a really good rhythm. They've won a bunch of games in a row. Now they're going up to Buffalo to play Niagara. Both teams historically have not been great. So, poor old St. Peter's, it's not like they're going up against the historical power in that conference. We like them. Let's keep going with the hot hand. All right, actual TV game. Big Ten. Oh, the Big Ten. If Bill Parcells has anything to say about anything, if there's anything to the Bill Parcells theory, then God damn it, this game is going to win, I swear to you. God damn, this game's going to win. I guess if I get angry, maybe it'll work. I don't know. But 18-9, 18-9, Indiana. Purdue 500. Pomeroy seems to think Purdue's better than Indiana. They're getting 7 points. Point spread tells you that Purdue's better. Well, fuck all that. Damn it. I mean, I don't know if I've won an Indiana game yet this year. I keep going back to these guys, but I just kind of think there's some value there. I've read some articles this morning. The Athletic emails me college basketball articles, I guess, because I pay them, $5 a month or something. And the writer of the Athletic, whose name escapes me, his conclusion was Indiana's heading in the right direction. Purdue is not. So, I'm not the only one that thinks this. So let's take Indiana, 2 stars. Okay, Northeast. What do we got here? Bryant, 14-15. They're 2-point underdog at Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairleigh Dickinson isn't very good. And Bryant, neither team has been a real Northeast power, but we kind of think Bryant is better. They're just better. They're playing better. They're getting up 2 points. I mean, we just think 2 points. I mean, they're better. They're better. That's what we're doing there. All right, Central Connecticut State. Now here we're kind of using our new rules, if you will. The model just, blew itself over Central Connecticut State here. Bells, whistles, woo, these guys got like a 65% chance to cover. Well, I'm not buying it. We're going to put 1 star on this, but bad team, good team. A good team, if my math is correct, they basically just need to win this game and they get a share of the conference championship. In their first year in the damn thing, it's their last game of the year, if I understand what the internet's telling me, that they're ineligible for whatever reason. They're ineligible to play in the Northeast tournament. So, this is their last game. Why am I circling Connecticut at all? 15.5 points, a lot of points. Neither team scores a lot, so that makes that, in points even more valuable. Sometimes when a team is, all we got to do is beat poor old little Geigertown. That was the worst damn team in our little league. All we go, or High Point, that was the second worst team. All we got to do is beat poor old High Point, and we're in the playoffs. And, next thing you know, it's the 4th inning, and we haven't gotten a hit yet off of Toby Tornado. That was their pitcher. And it's like, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, why are these guys playing so hard? Well, you know, sometimes the bad team wants to stick it up your ass just so they can prevent you from getting to the big prize. So maybe Central Connecticut plays extra hard, pretends it's their Super Bowl, and tries to keep close with Merrimack. Okay, next, Louisiana Monroe. That's another bad team that's playing better. These guys have won some games here lately. 12 points, we think they're a live dog. Little Rock, they're the top team in the, I believe we're in the Sun Belt here. But we think they have like a 2-game lead, so it might be a nice place for them to coast. Their coach is against the spread record, Darrell Walker, not great. So we're going to go ahead here with Monroe. 2 stars there. Where are we now? Gardner-Webb. I think we're back in the Big South again. Gardner-Webb, they're 2.5 point favorites at Charleston Southern. 13-15. Charleston Southern's 13-15. I guess Bill Parcells would say I'm in the wrong place here. But I think Gardner-Webb is a significantly better program than Charleston Southern. I believe that the conference records would show Webb is better than Southern. Webb was coached about 10 years ago by Chris Holtman, the fantastic new Ohio State coach. So Webb's program is on the move, we think. You know, a trivia question for you. Which Big South team represented the conference in the tournament last year? Gardner-Webb. Right, that's right. You saw that one coming, huh? Okay. So, we're going to take 2 stars on Webb. We think this is what we're looking for, you know. Program on the move, good program. Average, not so good program. So, we're trying hard here. All right. Bad program. Here we go. Bad program. James Madison. Their coach is just about to get canned, but the model is just so enamored with this game. Basically, if James Madison can't cover this one in this spot, which is so favorable to them, then they really should just can their coach on the spot. But he sucks. Luckily, Northeastern's coach isn't that much better. And it's 12 points. And Northeastern's not all that fearsome at 14-14. So we'll take it for 1 star. We'll just go ahead and 1 star. All right, I crossed one off here. I had it written down and the bat said cross that one off. I was going to play against Belmont. No, we're not playing against Belmont. That's stupid. We're just not doing that. Montana. Not sure why I got 1 star on that one. I don't know. They have a rookie coach. Montana is the historic power in that conference. I think we got 1 star on it because Montana's just not playing all that well. That's my recollection. That's why we got 1 star there. All right. Home stretch here, big finish. Louisiana Tech, we're taking them. These teams are pretty similar. It looks like Tech is a little better than Western Kentucky. Tech really has beaten everybody in the conference this year, except these guys. So we're kind of hoping that they have a little revenge thing going there, that they make some adjustments and they get it done. You know, both teams have pretty good reputations within the USA Conference. This one, we got 2 bad teams here. Eastern Illinois. I might regret this one. Both teams have bad coaches. Eastern Illinois has better talent. They have a better record, significantly better record. We had those guys earlier in the season and they didn't get it done. So we're a little leery about this one, but that's a bad team there. So doing this one because that's a bad team. If that was any kind of good team, we wouldn't do it. All right, now this last one's good. We like this one. St. Mary's, who's actually going to be in the tournament as an at-large pick, or selection, bid, whatever word you want to use. They're 23-6. They're a 6-point favorite at Santa Clara. That's a team they generally handle. 6 points, they generally beat these guys, and they generally cover when they do. So we like St. Mary's. That's a team that's good, has always been good. It's part of the West Coast Conference, as the Big Three: Gonzaga, BYU, St. Mary's, and the Little Seven. They're one of the Little Seven, so you take the Big Three over the Little Seven, and there you have it. So let's recap. Winthrop, 1 star. UNC Asheville, 2 stars. Longwood, 2 stars. Oakland, 2 stars. St. Peter's, -4, 2 stars. Indiana, +7, 2 stars. Bryant, +2, 2 stars. Central Connecticut State, 1 star, 15.5 points. Louisiana Monroe, +2, well, they're 2 stars. Gardner-Webb, 2 stars, -2.5. James Madison, 12-point underdogs, 1 star. Montana, 2.5-point favorites, 1 star. Louisiana Tech, +1.5 at Western Kentucky, 2 stars. At Eastern Illinois, -1.5, 2 stars. And lastly, on the West Coast, St. Mary's, -6, 2 stars. So it is written, so it shall be done. Yeah, I'm still edgy. I won't lie. All right, that's all I got for you. Bet it. Bet against it. Do what you will. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not as angry as I was last night. I'm not exactly happy. I'm not exactly sad, because I'm just more, philosophical at the moment. So, let's get it going. Let's get some winners. Let's turn this thing around. Hit the like button, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you. I don't know when I'll see you again. That's a good question. We'll probably put something together Friday night for Saturday. That's probably what we'll try to do. Try to do that. So, all right. Thanks for being here. Good night. Good gambling. And goddamn good luck.